Hello friends, in my last video I talked about how a idea originates, what is its like how from the origin of the idea it progresses from the angel investors to the venture capitalist. Okay, in this video I will be talking about how it moves from the venture capitalist stage to the final IPO stage. Okay, so let's begin. So in the last video we have ended like the promoter had got the funding of additional 7 crores from a venture capitalist who is willing to invest in his business at a stake of 14% in his company. Okay, and he invests 7 crores to invest his business. So the total valuation of the company has increased from 5 crores to 50 crores. Now after that, now the business is again doing very well. Okay, now he wants to expand his business to more states of the country. He feels that he needs some capital expenditure. The company decides to have a retail presence in almost 3 or more cities. To back the retail presence across 3 states, the company also plans to increase the production capacity and hire more resources. So whenever a company plans such expenditure to improve the overall business, the expenditure is called the capital expenditure or simply called the capex amount. Okay, so the management estimates that they will be needing around 40 crores towards their capex requirements. So how the company grows from there? So they have quite a few options to meet their requirement. The company has made already some profit over the last few years, so a part of the capex requirement can be funded through the profits. This is called the internal accruals. Okay, the company can approach another venture capitalist and raise another round of funding. This is called Series B funding. The company can approach a bank or seek loan. The company would be happy to tender this loan as the company has been doing fairly well. The loan is called the debt. So the company decides to exercise all the 3 options and at its disposal to raise the funds for capex amount. It brought 15 crores from internal accruals, plans a Series B funding to divest now more 5% of the equity shares for a consideration of 10 crores from another venture capitalist and raise 15 crores debt from the banker. So now 10 crores. Okay, now 10 crores is coming from 5%. The valuation of the company now stands at 200 crores. 10 crores at 5%. So at 100% it will be 200 crores. Of course this might seem a bit exaggerated, so but I am taking all these figures to ease out the calculation, but it has happened in the past for the companies like Infosys, Page Industries, Eicher Motors, Titan Industries, and international space like for companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. We have very famous example of Alibaba as well. So this has happened in the past as well. Now the promoter has 40% stake, Angel 1 5%, Angel 2 5%. From Series A he got 14%, from Series B he got 5%. So now 31% of the shares are not allotted yet. Okay, now 31% will be allotted at later point of the time if there is a requirement. Now again the capex requirement, that there is a new ambition after a few years the company want to expand in certain more countries, suppose. Okay, the countries has grown around 8 years old, it has become a 200 crore company, they are getting revenue, they have decreased their debt. Okay, it's doing very well. Now they have more ambitions to expand its business across several countries. Okay, for this they have calculated that they will be needing a capex requirement of around 60 crores. Say for example, okay. Now a VC funding is usually small and runs into few crores. They will not get some like this kind of 60 crore amount from a venture capitalist. They usually spend in around few crores to up to 10 crores at max. So they can go for a Series C funding. Okay, at private equity. So the private equity are like the people, the investors who they are quite savvy, okay, they are highly qualified and have an excellent professional background. They invest large amount of money with an objective of not only providing the capital for constructive use, but also their own people on the board for the investee company to ensure the company steers in the right direction. Okay, so they put their people on the board as well in the company. So assume that they pick around 15% stake in the company for 60 crores. They ask for 15% stake in the company. For 15% they are willing to invest 60 crores. So for 100% it will be 400 crores. So now they are valuing the company at 400 crores. So now the equation changes a little bit more. The promoter has 40%, Angel 1, Angel 2 has 5%, and from series of funding they have 19%, and the private equity has series C funding, he has invested 15%. So 84% of the shares have been invested. They have around 16% at stake, which has not been allotted to any shareholders. Now at this point of the time, this 16% amounts to 64 crores, because the total valuation because of this private equity investment has made the company's total valuation at 400 crores. Okay, usually a PE invest, they invest with because of this the valuation has increased a lot from 5 crores before 8 years to they have reached to 400 crores. Okay, so now what is an IPO, why the companies goes for any IPO? So 5 years after the PE investment, okay, the companies has progressed really well. They have successfully diversified their product portfolio, plus they have a presence across all major cities in the country. Revenues are really good, profitability is stable, and investors are happy. The promoter, however, doesn't wants to settle for just this. Now the promoter wants to, he aspires to go international across all the major countries and all the major cities in across all the major countries. He wants at least 2 outlets in everywhere. Okay, so this means the company will be needing they need additional cost, they need additional capex requirement. So suppose the company they decided and they thought and they come to a conclusion that they need additional 200 crores for their business, so they can get this 200 crores from fund capex from their internal accruals, means from the profits which they have been earning. They can raise another series D of funding by a private equity fund. They can raise debt from the bankers, float a bond, file for an initial public offering, or a combination of all the above. Now why among all these options a company will decide to file for an IPO? Why they will not choose any other option? What are the advantages of an IPO? Okay, how it benefits and helps the company? We will see this. So first of all, it's quite clear why the companies go public. They go public to raise fund, okay, to raise fund to meet their capex requirement. Like in this case, they need 200 crores to expand their business globally. Okay, avoiding the need to raise debt, if you are taking any debt from the banks, definitely you have to pay some some finance charges. There will be some finance charges based on which you will be given the debt. Now whenever you buy a share of a company, you are in essence taking some amount of risk as the promoter is taking. Needless to say, the proportion of the risk and its impact will depend upon the quantity of the shares you hold. Okay, nonetheless, whether you like it or not, when you buy shares you also buy a risk. So when the companies go public, the promoter is actually spreading his risk among a large group of people. So initially the risk was confined to the promoter, the 2 angel investors, the venture capitalist and the private equity who has invested in his business. But now since he's taking his company public, now the risk has spread across many large group of people. Okay, there are other advantages of the IPO as well. So they provide an exit for the early investors. Once the company goes public, the shares of the company start trading publicly. Any existing shareholder of the company, could be promoter, angel investor, venture capitalist, private equity fund, they all can use this opportunity to sell their shares in the open market. So by selling their shares, they get an exit on their initial investment in the company. They can also choose to sell their shares in smaller chunks if they wish. Reward employees. Employees working for the company would have shares allotted to them as incentive. This sort of arrangement between the employee and the company is called employee stock option. So you would have heard like the people who invested, the previous employees of Wipro, most of them are crorepati's, those who have not sold their shares, because the Wipro shares and dividend and all those things, they have increased quite a fold. So the people who are there at the early stage, they are, most of them are crorepati's as of now. Okay, few examples, a few other examples are like Google, Infosys, Twitter, Facebook. You would have heard like on the listing day itself, the Amitabh Bachchan got 10 crores. So all these kind of rewards the employee gets, or the investors. They improve the visibility. Definitely once the company goes public, there will be no more news about the company, more people will be knowing about the company. At least the investors who are the people who are buying the company, buying the shares of the company or participating in the IPO, definitely they will be knowing about the company. So the visibility is more. Okay, so these are the steps through which a public company gets listed in the IPO. But in India, the requirement to get listed in the IPO is little hard. Like the company has to be profitable over the past 3 years to get listed in the any of the stock exchanges. So if you think like companies like Flipkart, Snapdeal, Paytm, they can be listed. No, they cannot, because they have not been profitable as of now. Even though the company is 10 years old, they cannot be listed because they have not been profitable. So in Indian markets, it is very important that the company should be profitable. Why this is the requirement? To prevent the retail investors, like the investors like you and me, their money to get wasted. These are the regulations. So friends, if you want, I can make one more video how you can bid in an IPO, where you can get the information, what is a good bid, what is a book building process, how to get the listing gains of an IPO, all these things in another separate video if you want. Here we have covered all the basics of an IPO. Okay, so if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. I will be making many more videos like this. Thank you.